We all know that Egypt is one of the oldest countries in the world, a favourite place for archaeologists and individuals who have a deep interest in ancient mysteries. The Curse of Tutankhamun is a popular legend that has been around for nearly a century. It claims that anyone who disturbs the tomb of the ancient Egyptian pharaoh Tutankhamun will be met with misfortune or even death. But is there any truth to this curse? Or is it just a myth? In this video we're going to take a closer look at the evidence for and against the Curse of Tutankhamun. We'll also explore the possible origins, the facts behind the Tutankhamun curse, the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb. The story of the Curse of Tutankhamun begins in 1922 when British archaeologist Howard Carter and his team discovered the tomb of the young pharaoh underneath the Egyptian sand. Tutankhamun was a relatively minor pharaoh. He died young and did not get the chance to leave a larger legacy, so such a lavish funerary provision for him implied even greater treasures in other tombs of more accomplished pharaohs. Tutankhamun's tomb was the first intact royal tomb to be discovered in the Valley of the Kings, and it contained a treasure trove of artifacts, including the famous golden death mask of Tutankhamun. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb was a major archaeological event, and it made Carter and his team world famous. But it also sparked rumours of a curse. But the question arises whether the curse is a fact or rumour fiction. Let's deep dive and connect the dots. Interest in the burial practices of the ancient Egyptians was well established, with the deciphering of hieroglyphs in 1822 creating a watershed moment for Egyptology. But the discovery of the tomb built on this and brought ancient Egypt to the masses through media reports. Tutankhamun was a burst of glorious colour in a dark time, which came with the extra draw of the mysteries of the tomb and eternal life. It was also found in a last-ditch attempt to locate it. Howard Carter had been searching for it for years, and his success made a compelling story of hope, persistence and reward. The story captured the public's imagination, and papers at the time capitalised on that interest with a tale of a curse. The oft-quoted curse, "Death will come on swift wings to him who disturbs the peace of the king," does not actually appear anywhere in the tomb. There are real ancient Egyptian curses, but this was not one. Tutankhamun's curse stemmed from a media battle for readership. The Times had the exclusive rights to report on the excavation, so speculative stories were published by other newspapers, including the rumours of a curse. This again played on post-Victorian familiarity with spiritualism, an interest in the Gothic literature and the trend for travellers' souvenirs, which often included mummified remains or other objects from tombs. Readers bought into the idea of a curse with relish. There were also a series of illnesses, accidents and other events the papers attributed to the opening of the tomb. The most notable was the death of Lord Carnarvon, who funded the excavation on April 5, 1923. The cause of death was an infected cut, but the opportunity to connect this with the curse was irresistible. Legend claims that the moment Carnarvon died, all of the lights in Cairo mysteriously went out. Of course, a power outage in Cairo at the time was not uncommon, and his son Lord Porchester said Carnarvon's dog back in England died after letting out quite the howl, even though Lord Porchester was in India at the time and would continue to benefit from the sale of newspapers thanks to a deal Carnarvon brokered with the Times of London, and creating a supernatural scandal would ensure more profits. Papa didn't raise no fool, that's for sure. So these two creepy facts turn out to be quite a bit less creepy and a lot less factual. Some even believe that the mosquito bite was in the same location as a lesion on King Tut's cheek. Alas, Lord Carnarvon's body was buried without an autopsy, so this could not be confirmed. Carnarvon's death sparked a field day with the press. Pretty much every newspaper around the world said it was due to the mysterious and ominous forces that were released as a result from opening the tomb. Carnarvon didn't have the best immune system and had been prone to frequent and severe lung infections, and there had been a belief that one acute attack of bronchitis could have killed him. Of course, people don't want compromised immune system and chronic illness, they want scandal and intrigue, and that's exactly what they got. In 1925, Sir Bruce Ingham, who was close friends with Howard Carter, was given a gift from him, a paperweight. Carter gave Ingham a mummified hand supposedly wearing a scarab bracelet that said, "Cursed be he who moves my body. To him shall come fire, water and epidemic. To him shall come fire, water and pestilence." First of all, who gives a creepy mummified hand as a paperweight? Second of all, if you're going to give that as a gift, maybe you should take the curse bracelet off first. Soon after receiving it, his house burned down. When he rebuilt it, it was hit by a flood. Aubrey Herbert, Lord Carnarvon's half-brother, he died of sepsis as a result of the surgery 5 months after his brother. The press claimed he became a victim of King Tut's curse by merely being related to Carnarvon. Next there was American Egyptologist Aaron Ember, who was friends with many people present at the opening of King Tut's tomb, but was not there himself. Ember died in 1926 when his house in Baltimore burned down. He, his wife, son and the family maid. It seems like you didn't have to even be involved in the excavation in any way. Sir Archibald Douglas Reed was the radiologist who x-rayed King Tut. He became sick the next day and died 3 days later. It seems like anyone and everyone's deaths were being attributed to the pharaoh's curse. I could go in with more names who were claimed to be victims, but I think you can see the pattern going on here. The most important thing, will you notice that this whole pattern, international media shows most of people died who was anyhow related with this tomb. Even they were not directly involved in excavation, but Howard Carter, the man behind the discovery of King Tut, seemed to be immune from the curse. It's enough funny, we know. Howard Carter, who not only discovered the tomb and physically opened it, but also removed the mummy of Tutankhamun from the sarcophagus, lived until 1939, 16 years after that event. Not only did Carter live to a fairly ripe age of 64 before succumbing to cancer, but Sergeant Richard Adamson, a member of Carter's team who guarded the burial chamber round the clock for 7 years and was the European closest to Tutankhamun's remains, lived for another 60 years until his death in 1982. And he is not alone. Randy notes, this group died at an average age of 73 plus years. Wahoo, can you believe this planted story, and what do you think, is it fact or fiction? Let me know in the comments, despite us all knowing that curse was fabricated, not any fact related to this curse. It has had a long-term effect on the discovery of ancient remains and the perpetuation of such myths. The idea that human remains must be dealt with carefully has been present since the early days of excavation. However, archaeology today is concerned more than ever with the ethics of working with human remains, their interpretation and how they are kept. So remember that, friends. Next time you think about the curse of the mummy's tomb, the real culprit could be you. I hope you like this explanation. Stay tuned, but before thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and click on notification bell so you never miss a single part.